Mike Tyson. The name alone evokes images of brutal knockouts, ferocious intensity, and a reign as the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. But not everybody liked him. Before he cemented his legacy as Iron Mike, Tyson was a fighter who had to earn respect, inside and outside the ring. In January 1988, he faced one of the most significant challenges of his career, Larry Holmes. Holmes was a former heavyweight champion and a legend in his own right, boasting an impressive 48-2 record. Many saw Holmes as the man to humble Tyson, questioning whether the young champion could stand against a fighter of such experience and skill. The world watched as 16,000 people filled the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, doubting Tyson and rooting for the veteran. The reporters, the crowd, and even some fans questioned if Tyson was truly invincible. They saw this as the night the 21-year-old's record would be shattered. They couldn't have been more wrong. Larry Holmes was not just another challenger. He was a former heavyweight champion who had defended his title an incredible 20 times. Known for his sharp boxing skills and tough chin, Holmes had beaten great fighters like Ken Norton and even Muhammad Ali. Although he had been retired for almost 2 years, his experience and skills still made him a dangerous opponent.
I'm an experienced professional fighter. I am no kid. I do not play. I'm gonna knock this guy out.
Many believed he was the perfect fighter to test Mike Tyson. At just 21 years old, Tyson was a rising star and already the undisputed heavyweight champion. With a flawless 32-0 record and 28 of those wins by knockout, he was feared for his unmatched power and aggression. Tyson was dominating the sport, but some critics questioned whether he was ready to face someone as smart and seasoned as Holmes. Could Tyson handle the challenge of a fighter who might outthink and outmaneuver him in the ring? Holmes didn't shy away from adding to the drama. He claimed Tyson wasn't on his level and dismissed the young champion as overrated. This created even more excitement for the fight. The media joined in, with some analysts arguing that Tyson was a one-dimensional fighter who relied too much on power. They believed Holmes, with his long reach and famous jab, could expose Tyson's weaknesses. Despite the talk, others saw it differently. Tyson's supporters were confident he was unbeatable. They argued that his speed, strength, and relentless style would be too much for Holmes, especially after such a long break from boxing. Holmes had the skill, but Tyson had the momentum. Fans wondered if the veteran's experience could overcome the power of the young champion. As the fight approached, the hype continued to grow. It wasn't just about two fighters, it was about answering big questions. Would Tyson prove he could defeat a true legend? Or would Holmes remind the world why he was once the best? With both men determined to win and the world watching closely, it was clear this wasn't just another boxing match. It was a battle that would decide who deserved to be called a true champion. As the fighters made their way to the ring, the energy in the arena was electric. The crowd of 16,000 fans roared, their cheers echoing through the venue. Surprisingly, many were rooting for Larry Holmes, the underdog. It was a rare sight. Mike Tyson, usually the overwhelming favorite, wasn't commanding the loudest support this time. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation, and skepticism filled the air. Tyson entered the ring first, staying true to his usual no-nonsense style. There was no robe, no flashy entrance, just pure focus and intensity. He looked every bit the young, unstoppable champion. His reputation as a knockout artist preceded him, and his expression left no doubt that he was there to do damage. Even with the crowd split, Tyson's presence was commanding, as if he already knew the outcome of the fight. Then came Larry Holmes. At 38 years old, he was older and considered past his prime, but he didn't look like a man intimidated by the moment. As he walked to the ring, Holmes exuded a calm confidence that only a seasoned veteran could display. His demeanor told the story of a man who had been in countless battles before and still believed he had what it took to come out on top. For Holmes, this wasn't just about proving he could still compete. It was about cementing his legacy and showing the world that he belonged among the all-time greats. The contrast between the two fighters couldn't have been more striking. Tyson represented the future of boxing, a young, ferocious powerhouse. Holmes, on the other hand, embodied the old guard, a master tactician relying on years of experience. The crowd could feel the significance of the moment, Knowing this fight was more than just another title defense, it was a clash of generations, of styles, and of legacies. As the final preparations were made in the ring, the tension was almost unbearable. The fighters stared each other down, each man ready to prove his point. The bell was about to ring, and the world was ready to see who would emerge victorious. From the opening bell, Mike Tyson came out like a man on a mission. His signature bobbing and weaving style was on full display, slipping under Larry Holmes's jab with ease and closing the distance in an instant. Holmes, known for his legendary jab, tried to establish his rhythm early, aiming to keep the younger, stronger Tyson at bay. However, Tyson's speed and aggression were overwhelming. He darted inside with ferocious intent, landing a series of punishing hooks to Holmes's body and head. Forced to retreat, Holmes relied on his experience to stay on his feet, but it was clear from the start. This was going to be a grueling fight for the veteran.
Well, Larry Holmes hasn't done a great deal of work in this opening session. Took a good left hook there. Well, uppercut there from Holmes. No problems for Tyson, though.
The second round brought a glimmer of hope for Holmes. Shaking off the early storm, he began to find his rhythm. His jabs started landing more frequently, momentarily disrupting Tyson's relentless advance. Holmes moved with calculated precision, using his reach to circle away from Tyson's power punches. The crowd, sensing a potential upset, roared to life. "Larry! Larry!" Chants filled the arena as Holmes tied up Tyson on the inside, buying precious seconds to regroup. For a fleeting moment, it seemed the doubters might be proven right. Could the seasoned tactician outbox the explosive, younger champion? Holmes's performance in the second round raised the question, and the Atlantic City crowd was ready to believe in a miracle. But Tyson wasn't about to let the momentum slip away.
Tyson once again showing that that's... So a bit of replay here then, on that particular session. Tyson goes in, lands a big punch there, almost to the kidney, but a sweep.
By the third round, he made key adjustments, slipping Holmes's jab with pinpoint precision. Each time Holmes extended his left hand, Tyson would counter with devastating combinations to the body, each punch landing with bone-crushing force. The sound of Tyson's gloves meeting Holmes's ribs echoed through the arena like gunfire.
A very, very good set.
Holmes tried to clinch, hoping to stifle Tyson's attack, but the champion was relentless. A brutal uppercut in the third round snapped Holmes's head back, silencing the crowd. The chants of "Larry" gave way to murmurs of concern as Tyson began to reassert his dominance. The doubts about his ability to handle a veteran like Holmes quickly began to fade. By the fourth round, Tyson was in complete control. Holmes, ever the brutal and resilient fighter, refused to back down, but his age and recent inactivity were beginning to show. Tyson smelled blood and pressed forward with unrelenting ferocity. Midway through the round, Tyson unleashed a thunderous right hand that sent Holmes crashing to the canvas. The crowd erupted in shock and awe as Holmes struggled to rise. Holmes beat the count, but Tyson wasn't done. Moments later, Tyson landed a brutal combination: a left hook, a right uppercut, and another devastating right hand. Holmes went down again, this time for good. The referee began the count, but it was clear the fight was over. For the first time in his storied career, Larry Holmes had been knocked out. And in that moment, Mike Tyson silenced not just the 16,000 fans in attendance, but the entire boxing world who doubted him.
And only time I got stopped is when Mike Tyson hit me. He's the only one that stopped me, so I never believed in taking a whole lot of punches. But Mike was the only one that hit me, and he knocked me down. I got up. I thought I slipped. Knocked me down. I got up again. I thought, shit, I'm gonna get him now. Because he know he had knocked me down twice, so, well, my arm got caught in the rope.
Yeah, the arm got caught in the rope.
You know what I said? Oh, shit.
The doubters had been silenced. Mike Tyson's performance against Larry Holmes was nothing short of extraordinary. A masterclass in power, speed, and determination. From the opening bell to the devastating fourth-round knockout, Tyson left no room for doubt. He wasn't just a knockout artist, he was a complete fighter, a true champion. In the post-fight interview, Tyson showed respect and humility, acknowledging Holmes's greatness while asserting his own dominance.
It's great to have the name on my record, but everyone knows Larry Holmes was a legendary fighter, and if he was at his best, I couldn't stand a chance. He's a great fighter. I admire him very much.
Larry Holmes is a great champion, Tyson said, his tone calm but confident. But tonight was my night. Holmes, ever the professional, was gracious in defeat. He praised Tyson's abilities and admitted that the young champion was simply too much for him. For Tyson, the victory marked a turning point in his career. No longer was he viewed as just a one-dimensional knockout machine. He had proven he could rise to the occasion, handle pressure, and dismantle one of the sport's most respected fighters. This fight solidified Tyson's status as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and a force to be reckoned with in boxing history. For Holmes, it was the end of an era. While he would return to the ring in later years, he would never again reach the heights of his earlier dominance. The loss to Tyson marked a definitive closing chapter on Holmes's prime years as a fighter. But after this fight, Tyson's career still continued, and he had many more brutal opponents, some who were much bigger than him, giants in the ring who instilled fear in boxers. If you want to watch that, then click this video on the screen.